The lesson of today is titled Manipulatable Vulnerability. Ooh, big words. Now, let's start the class. There is this general consensus that women tolerate weak men in their lives for a reason. You can see that obviously that guy is a mismatch for the woman. We all can tell it. We can look at it and we are like, there is something missing here. But the woman seems oblivious. So we would want to think, but she knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. And I know right now, you have gone into any of these publicly celebrity kind of couples, and you can see that mismatch between that kafukusui and the woman in his life. It turns out that women will tolerate a weakness in a man for two reasons. Number one, and that's what happens in most of the cases, they observe the man, identify the weakness, and then they package themselves as the antidote to that weakness. That is the most common one. You know how we say that women can smell a potential in a man years before the man even knows that he has potential? It's rooted in that capability of a woman identifying a weakness in a man, then positioning herself as a solution to that weakness, and then she attaches herself to that man because she has a long con game. That is the most common one, and we can talk about that until your white Jesus come back. And when a woman does that, now the man's ego gets amplified, because naturally this is a mismatch. He knows it. The woman is doing it on purpose because she can see something she can use to her advantage through that weakness that she has identified in this kafukusui. And so she attaches herself to this guy. Then she becomes the solution. She becomes the warmth. She becomes the confidence. She becomes the ego booster. But she has a long game. Now, when it comes time to cash out, because they all do, she is going to use the same exact weakness that she made the man believe is the one that drew her to him as a reason of walking away. But she is not going to walk away empty-handed. The sole reason she attached herself with that guy is because she could see the potential to manipulate that vulnerability in him because of his weakness. And now that is the manipulatable vulnerability. And women cash big on weak men like that. Because when a woman is attracted to a strong man, that's a whole different ballgame altogether. It's rooted on natural attraction. This guy provides, this guy protects, this guy boosts her ego and her social status. But when a woman is attracted to a weak man, she knows that that weakness, she is going to use it to her advantage, because that man has a vulnerability, manipulatable aspect of her. And so she is going to manipulate that vulnerability. You have had multiple people say, multiple women say, when I met him, he had nothing. And I'm not even talking about DJ Mo and the woman, I can't remember what her name is. But you had that DJ Mo's woman say, when I met him, he had nothing. Not in private, in a set, in a podcast with other people, demeaning him, that he was sleeping on the floor. He did not even have a car. He had 2 pairs of shoes. He wore the same clothes. She is the one who built him up. And now if you look at the rise and fall of DJ Mo, he has gotten to a point where he cannot live without that woman. They live their life in public, so we get to observe all these waves of their life. And even when they say, meenda tumeachana, imekuishia hapo, that's it. The manipulatable vulnerability on the part of J-Mo is so huge that he cannot survive in the free world. He still crawls back to the master. Ganovia is another case study. The manipulatable vulnerability in him, the weakness in him that is in the public domain, is the reason that he is forever indented to that hippo of his. His weakness becomes a manipulatable vulnerability for the rest of his life. And so also, weak men in marriages, that weakness becomes a manipulatable vulnerability in them. And the society has made it so that it's almost impossible for that man to walk away from a dysfunctional relationship and survive on his own, because it's the weakness that was identified by the woman, and the woman was able to manipulate that weakness to her advantage. And so he stays. He gives all these mean-tested excuses as to why he is staying in that relationship. For the children, for the status, for the church, for the religion, for the family, for whatever reason. But the woman in her essence knows that that weakness is the manipulatable vulnerability. When it comes for her time to exit, she never second guesses herself. She never hesitates. She knows this game from A to Z, and then she works backwards from Z to A. So when it's time for her to exit, she uses the exact same weakness in the man that has kept her there, that drew her to him, to now geuza bao on him. Manipulatable vulnerability. A lot of men have that. You have that. Your father has that. Your uncles have that. Your pastor has that. Almost every man you know in your life, chances are they have manipulatable vulnerability. And that's why they have this symbiotic relationship between the tick and the host, because they have been conditioned to believe that they cannot survive without a woman. Umeguzwa?